Are you ready? It's time!
Sleeman Breweries, in association with the Western Ontario Super Hockey League, presents the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. Here's the host of the program, Andrew Rogers.
Hello once again, everybody. Andrew Rogers here, the host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. It's great to be back with you guys once again. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, we really do appreciate having you here. This is episode number 24. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys have all had a fantastic week. I know we did in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. It was quite the weekend. 4 games that took place this past weekend. We're going to get you up to date on that in just a moment here. First of all, I just want to make a quick statement here. Guys, I was brought in to do a job with this league. And I feel like I've kind of underperformed a little bit, just from a personal standpoint. Again, I got one thing I do, like this streaming services has been a lot more complicated than and challenging to me in the process with at least the games that I've been doing play-by-play for. Some buildings don't have the capabilities to run it. I must commend the Alvinson Killer Bees, because their stream is absolutely flawless. If you watched any of their game against the Tillsonburg Thunder on Saturday, the feed is excellent. They may not have somebody commentating on the game, but the action is smooth. The flow is very nice. It's not choppy at all, and it's great to listen to the sound in the rink, and just great hockey to be able to watch and watch without having to cringe like if you did watch any of the Strathroy, Stratford Fighting Irish game on Saturday that I happened to call. I do apologize. Once again, I know I've apologized to some people and have sent out apologies. We've had quite a few technical issues when it comes to doing these streaming services broadcasts of these Western Ontario Super Hockey League games. And from them being choppy to echoey to various other issues, but we're working on them. We're trying to do better with it, and hopefully we can get it all sorted out here so that you guys can enjoy these games, and from the comfort of your own home without having to cringe when you watch them, like I said. But I just want to apologize, because I should be doing a better job than I'm doing, and clearly I'm dropping the ball. So this one's on me, and I take that full responsibility there. So just what I suggest, just hang in there and we'll get this thing right. If you can get down to the rink, though, that's where the real action is. And boys, it has been good of late. But yeah, guys, so we got a loaded podcast here for you today. We're actually going to speak with Jamie Petrie, the league president and also head coach of the Stratford Fighting Irish. We're going to talk to him in a little while, so I'll make sure to introduce him at some point. But first, we want to give you a little bit of a recap on the weekend that was in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. We have one bit of video footage we want to show you, and this is courtesy of Bill Ryan. He put a little highlight pack together of his team, the Tillsonburg Thunder, their trip to Alvinson to take on the Killer Bees. We'll air that now, and then when I come back afterwards, we'll go over the scores and some of the things to know about this past weekend, and then get you kind of up to speed as to the standings, the point scoring leaders, where everything kind of stands and shakes out right now as it stands, and we'll get you set up for our interview with Jamie Petrie. But yeah, guys, take a look at this highlight pack from the Alvinson Killer Bees and the Tillsonburg Thunder this past Saturday. Yeah, guys. So much thanks to Bill Ryan for doing that for us for the Alvinston Killer Bees Tillsonburg Thunder game. We much appreciate that. Let's take a look at our scoreboard from this past weekend. It was 4 games on slate. We started with the Strathroy Jets and the Alvinston Killer Bees. Strathroy winning in this one 7-1. A big 5-goal second period really did the Killer Bees in. Josh Diamond was really spectacular in this hockey game. So he picks up the win, his third of the season. He is 3-0. Taking the loss on this one is Spencer Robertson. Again, like I say, the undoing for the Alvinston Killer Bees was a 5-goal second period by the Strathroy Jets, led by Tyler Kettler, who had 2. And again, it's just it's an unfortunate situation for the Killer Bees, but you know what? Every game is an improvement, and you just got to be able to hold your head high from game to game. But as I mentioned, 7-1 victory for the Strathroy Jets in our first game this past weekend. Our second game came also on this past Friday night from Elora. Elora Rocks hosting their home opener. They took on the visiting Stratford Fighting Irish. Stratford Fighting Irish up 2-1 after the first period, but again, like the Strathroy Jets, the Elora Rocks is exploding for 5 goals in the second period and really taking control of the game. Teams went 2-2 in the third for an 8-5 victory for Elora. Goaltender Colin Dunn started the game for the Elora Rocks and picked up the victory. His his first of the season. I apologize. That's his second of the season. I apologize. He started the previous game against the Stratford Fighting Irish and picked up the W, and he does so again in the rematch. Newcomer for the Stratford Fighting Irish, Nathan Torquia, takes the loss. He allowed 7 goals, the 8th goal for the Elora Rocks coming into the empty net. It was a really good game all around for the Elora Rocks. The bright spot on the Stratford Fighting Irish side was Ray Robbins, who had a couple of goals for the Irish in the loss. Moving on now, our third game of the weekend again featured the Stratford Fighting Irish. This time they were on the road. They were at home. They were at home against the visiting Strathroy Jets. This one went to overtime. It was quite a game all around. Again, Stratford leading 2-1 after the first period, but it was a 3-goal second by the Strathroy Jets that took the game a bit into the Strathroy Jets' hands, but it was Stratford with the gritty effort to come back and tie it with 3 of their own in the third period to send it to overtime, where we saw our first format at overtime. Really unfortunate incident here in overtime. Morgan Reed, the starting goalie of the Strathroy Jets, got injured in a collision in the third period, and he was he had to leave the game in the overtime session when he was replaced by goaltender Mark Piera, and Piera actually ended up getting credit with the victory in the hockey game due to the fact that it was Strathroy who scored in overtime. Nolan Blewett with the goal, his second of the hockey game from Piera and Rowe. And that one was the winner, as mentioned. And what that did was it also put the Strathroy Jets at the top of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League standings at 4-0. We'll get to that in a moment. Our final game of the weekend saw the Tillsonburg Thunder put up a 15 spot on the Alvinston Killer Bees, 15-7 in the final. These two teams combined for a lot of goals in this hockey game and a lot of shots. Tillsonburg and Alvinston combining for 9 goals in the first period and another 8 in the third. A lot of goals to be had all around. Tim Porter getting the win for Tillsonburg, while Spencer Robertson took the loss for the Alvinston Killer Bees. As mentioned, yes, a lot of goals, a lot of scoring in this hockey game. But again, at the end of the day, the most important thing is the win-loss record here, and that is that the Tillsonburg Thunder are now 2-1 on the season, while the Alvinston Killer Bees dropped to 0-4. As we take a look now, guys, at our standings, fairly simple here, as we mentioned. You got the Strathroy Jets that are ahead. They're 4-0, as mentioned. They've scored 22 times and they've allowed only 11. And they also sport a league low 42 penalty minutes. The Elora Rocks are 3-0. They are at 24-10 in terms of a goals for, goals against, and a plus 14 goals for, goals against differential. That's tops in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Tillsonburg Thunder, they lead the league in goals for with 28 as against with 18 for a plus 10 differential. They've only taken 50 penalty minutes this season. The Stratford Fighting Irish earning a point going to overtime against the Strathroy Jets in the loss. They are on the board though with a point, and they sit in fourth while the Alvinston Killer Bees look to put one in the win column. They'll get there. We're still early on in the season here in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Switching over now, we want to take a look at our point scoring leaders. Jake Brown, he's having an unbelievable year. 3 games played so far, and he's put up 8 points. Right on his heels, though, is Dane Johnstone from the Strathroy Jets. Got a chance to watch Dane play on Saturday. This kid is as advertised. Him alongside his teammate his line mate, Justin McIntyre. They are just unstoppable by the looks of it. They're going to be a force this upcoming season, the rest of the way, no question. Johnstone sits in second with 7 points. There's a little bit of a log jam between 5 different players in fifth, with 6 points apiece. That includes Jacob Black of Elora, Mitchell Fitzmaurice out of Tillsonburg, Ray Robbins in Stratford has 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists through 4 games. Alex Utley of the Elora Rocks with 6 points, and Matt Weston of Tillsonburg with 6 points. And then from there, you got Sean Pickering, Ty Campbell of Elora, both with 5. And then Sean O'Brien of Stratford rounds out the top 10. He also has 5 points for the Stratford Fighting Irish. He's had a really nice year so far, Sean O'Brien. Guys, just to also want to bring you up on the suspension we did. So we have, just to give you kind of an update as to where we are when it comes to the suspensions in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Mason Singeldam of the Elora Rocks has 1 game remaining on his 3-game suspension. That'll be served this upcoming Friday when the Tillsonburg Thunder visit the Elora Rocks. That'll be his final game of his suspension. He'll be eligible to return the weekend of the 29th. Also, another suspension to bring you up to date on, Jeffrey Williams from the Strathroy Jets has been suspended indefinitely due to an incident that occurred this past Friday against the Alvinston Killer Bees. This suspension is pending a review. So as soon as we get word on that, we'll keep you in the loop on that and keep you up to date. But yes, guys, so just a little bit on that. So yeah, guys, great weekend, Western Ontario Super Hockey League. I was in Elora for their home opener. Great hockey game there. The Elora Rocks putting on a very, very nice display for their home opener. They did a really wonderful job, I thought. Not a bad crowd either. It was a packed house. It was unbelievable to see. It was great to watch, and it was great to be a part of. And then, yeah, seeing the Strathroy Jets for the first time, they are as advertised. Like I say, 4-0 to start the year, and they really give Stratford a good matchup. Stratford, though, doing their best to hold in it, and they came back in a strong way in the third period to force overtime. I thought Maverick Petrie played really, really well in the hockey game. From a personal standpoint, I really liked his game, and Ray Robbins has been nothing short of unbelievable for the Stratford Fighting Irish. They need a little bit of help in the nets, but that'll come, no question about it. With a little more confidence, you never know what you're capable of. Also, guys, just want to, on a serious note from this past weekend, we did have a moment in, excuse me, we did have a moment in the Stratford Fighting Irish Strathroy Jets this past weekend. About midway through the second period or so, we had an incident where a puck was deflected off a stick in the play, and it happened to go directly towards the Stratford Fighting Irish bench. And it ended up catching the Stratford Fighting Irish head coach, Jamie Petrie, who's going to be my guest here in a little bit, in the back of the head and deflected out of play. Jamie was very dazed and obviously in a lot of discomfort and distress on the bench. Play was halted for several minutes while they attended to Jamie. And, again, they just wanted to make sure that they were following everything that they needed to follow to make sure that Jamie was in the best care and that his health and safety was the number one priority. So essentially everything came to a halt, and they tended to Jamie. EMTs were called in, and he was attended to. He did stick around for the end of the game and was able to speak with him after the contest. He definitely says he was shooken up, no question. But again, we're going to hear from Jamie when he joins us here on the podcast shortly, and we'll get his take on that and some other things. So Jamie wears a lot of hats, obviously. He's the league president and he's the head coach of the Stratford Fighting Irish. So we're going to make sure to ask him some questions. We want to get his take on things as we go here in the early stages of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League season. Before we get to Jamie, guys, we'll get you up to speed on what's going to happen this upcoming weekend. We got 3 games on the slate upcoming here, and we get started on Friday, this upcoming Friday. This one goes from the Elora Rocks, Elora and District Community Center. The visiting Tillsonburg Thunder are in town. This one goes on, like I said, on Friday. The date, October the 22nd. That goes at 8:30. Tillsonburg comes in at 2-1, while the Elora Rocks are 3-0. That should be a fantastic matchup there. On Saturday, October the 23rd, we switch over now. We're back in Alvinston for the Killer Bees. And they are hosting the Stratford Fighting Irish, matchup of 0-3-1 versus 0-4-0. 2 teams looking to get in the win column. That should be an unbelievable matchup if it all goes well, which I suspect it will. And then on Sunday, October the 24th, by the way, that Killer Bees game on Saturday is at 6:30 from the Brook Alvinston Inwood Community Center Complex. And then on Sunday, the October the 24th, a real special occasion for the Alvinston Killer Bees and the Strathroy Jets. They are going to be in Glencoe, actually, at the Glencoe Arena, where they will take on each other in that matchup of Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Note the start time of that one, too. It's a 12 o'clock start in Glencoe. A lot of things planned. Check out their social medias for that. Yeah, guys, so if you need to check out our social media, please do. You can find our website at www.woshl.com for all that more information on that. And here's all of our socials where you can find us on Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And guys, make sure to check out the website because it takes you everywhere. It's an unbelievable website and it's being run really, really well. And guys, so far, honestly, the reception has been excellent. So from everybody that I've heard, they said it's been nothing short of incredible, the hockey and the talent on the ice. And it's been a really great so far, and we've had a lot of fun. And we definitely appreciate all you guys' support. The numbers on the podcast are just phenomenal to see. So I really do appreciate that as well. And we continue guys to see you guys come out in floods. We definitely appreciate that. And hopefully there'll be more of you allowed in the buildings as we continue to progress throughout the course of the season. Like I say, guys, we're only four games in for most teams, 3 for some. But it's been pretty unbelievable so far. So yeah, without further ado, guys, we're going to introduce Jamie Petrie, the head coach of the Stratford Fighting Irish and the league president of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. All right, we are pleased to be joined at this time by league president and head coach of the Stratford Fighting Irish, Jamie Petrie. Jamie, we've been trying to do this for quite some time, and it's four games into the season, and we finally got you. So welcome, pal. It's great to have you.
Better late than never, my friend. We're here. And
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. So I already explained to the viewers about the incident on Saturday. But when you took the puck, unfortunately, on a ricochet that you probably didn't see coming. Can you just give us an update on how you're doing and maybe take us through what you remember from Saturday?
take you through. It's more embarrassing than anything.
And you don't have to be so humble, Jamie.
My fat head got in the way of a puck and excuse me, a little gooser on the back of the head. That's generally it. Everything's good and we're ready to go.
Awesome. That's good. I mean, we were all very, very concerned at that very moment for you, because I mean, you hate to see something like that happen where, you got to keep your head on a swivel because pucks are coming and flying, so I even feel scared in the Almond because they don't have the netting all the way around. Do you think after something like this, that might be something that they might discuss, or is that even in the plans? I don't even know.
I don't think there's anything they can do. I mean, I don't totally remember the play, but it was a dump in, I believe. There's not much you can do. Players have to hop the boards, right?
True.
So the puck flying, and then the next thing I know, I looked up and a couple guys helped me up. So it's all good. There's nothing to do. It's just a fluke. It's a fluke thing, and we go forward.
But just glad you're all right, and that we were all definitely hoping for you in that moment that everything was okay and that it wasn't more serious. And it was good to see you stick around in that hockey game. So let's talk about the Irish. I mean, there's a couple different things we could talk to you about because you're wearing two hats here. But and I have different questions on either because obviously it's important to get your perspective on both. From an Irish perspective, I mean, you know, it was nice that you guys picked up your first point. Do you see the team improving game by game?
I do. I do. I mean, to be 0-3-1 or however you want to put it, did I think we'd be winless? No. Do I see progress? Absolutely. I've said from day one that we're a young team. You know, we have three new players coming out tonight to practice.
Okay.
We have to improve. You know, our defensive zone coverage has been weak at times, but at the same thing, there's some established teams in this league that are good. Do I think that we can compete against anyone? I do, and I still believe that we will be a tough out come playoff time. The core of our group is are good guys. You know, we were sitting around as a coaching staff talking the other day. Usually there's 2 or 3 or 4 oddballs on the team,
Right.
if you want to call them. We have good guys, and we have good guys. We have well over 20 guys coming to practice. Yeah, it's early, but guys want to be there, and guys believe in the long game and not so much the short. Excuse me. Of course, we would like to have a W on the end, and we'll try to go get that. We'll go get that this Saturday.
And yeah, like one thing I really was in awe of, I guess, is how much your team battled in adversity on Saturday against a very tough Strathroy team, where, you know, again, the second period is kind of your undoing, a couple games in a row. That could be fixed, obviously, but to come back the way you guys did in the third period, how impressed were you with your team's play?
Very impressive. Does it surprise me? No, because I believe we have the makeup of that team. As I said, you know, at the early September when we did some previews with the league and with our team, is, you know, almost every guy in our team is more a C or an A in junior. Not that for a reason, is because they're leaders and they work hard. We're still finding our way. There's some guys that a lot of these guys haven't played at this level, so we're still finding our way. But one thing we're not finding is compete. Could we compete? That for sure. But you know, you look at the last 2 games, we've been leading 2-1 after the first. We've had 2 solid 20 minutes of hockey, and then for whatever reason, maybe the oranges aren't cut as good in between the periods. Have to change something for the second period.
Right.
But with that being said, we haven't been out of any game. Some of the scores, a 9-5. You know, against Tillsonburg, the game was at 4-4 at one time. Are they a better hockey club? That's great moments for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been in every game, and I believe that'll be the way from here till the end of the season. And we will get our W's if we work as hard as we did in some of the 20 minutes we played and put together 60 minutes. Like I said, we'll be a tough out. We're not going to run away with anything. We're not going to blow any teams out. But I do believe with the makeup of our hockey club and with us upgrading with some new players, I'm repeating myself, but I believe we'll be a tough out.
Perfect. No, I love the answers, Jamie. They're very good. They're exactly what I'm looking for. I have one more Irish question before I want to switch to the league questions. Ray Robbins has really actually kind of surprised me in being an early leader amongst your team in points. He's got 6 through 4. What's impressed you most about his play, maybe in the games and his dedication in practice? What has impressed you the most about him?
So Ray's one of the players that I hadn't seen play before.
Okay.
You know, we talk as a group, as in management, you know, through the teams. You know, the best recruits are the players. So I was introduced to Ray Robbins. I had never seen Ray Robbins. You know, I met him, I believe, in July and August. I'd only heard. What I'd heard about him is that he will grow on you. He will force you to put him in the lineup, and his game will take care of itself. Excuse me. And that's exactly what's happened. You know, his practices were decent at the start, but didn't show what he's all about. And the last couple of games, he's just gone with it. Do I think he's going to be our leading goal scorer at the end of the year? No. But do I think he's going to be a very important part of our team? Absolutely. And there's a guy that's wore a C. Could very easily be a letter on our hockey club, but a wonderful young man, takes things to heart. He was bitter after the overtime.
Right.
Thought he could do better, but I mean, he's been to say he's a surprise, no, but I had to see it for myself. Right. And I've seen it, and he can play anything. He can play on the top line, he can play on the second line, he can be on the third line, he can block shots, he can kill penalties, and he's played on the power play already. So yeah, you've seen it, and I think other people are seeing that Ray Robbins, yes, maybe he hasn't played university and pro hockey, but he's a good player in our league.
And then one more I want to ask you about too, that I'm just thinking about now. Dawson Winchester, one of your new recruits, played a couple games this past weekend, and I thought he was electric, both on Friday and on Saturday. Did you see that the same way? I imagine most people in the buildings that were there saw him the same way. He's a force.
Yeah, similar to what I got told. I hadn't seen Dawson play. I mean, you can watch video nowadays, but same thing as what I got told about Ray. He obviously played better on Saturday than he did Friday. When Dawson's not cheating on the play and on the right side of the puck, he's gonna be a tough player to play against. You know, he's got center of gravity, he's got good wheels, he's got, I would say, above average hockey IQ, and he's going to be part of our hockey club. So like I said, him and I have talked. If he doesn't cheat, he's going to be a darn good hockey player for us. Absolutely.
Hey, I love that's great. I appreciate all the answers about the Irish. It's excellent, Jamie. We're talking with Jamie Petrie, league president and head coach of the Stratford Fighting Irish on the ice next in Alvinston this upcoming Saturday. Jamie, let's switch to the league focus a little bit here. First of all, I continue to sing your praises on this program, and I mean every word I say, because it's pretty outstanding where we were like maybe a year and a half ago and where we are today. It's pretty remarkable that we're at this point where games are being played, people are coming out in bunches, and the reception has been very, very positive. What's it been like for you from a head perspective on what are some of the things that you've been hearing?
Same as what you've been hearing. It's been outstanding. I mean, I was at Stratton Roy's home opener. I was at Aurora's home opener. I was at our home opener. I will be going to watch Tilsonburg's home opener. And from what I heard in Alvinston's home opener, it was great. It's the same thing. We've been there's been some crowds north of 400. It's consistently around the 350 mark, 300. It's been great. The one thing we've talked about from day one is putting on events versus games. And the guys have run with that, and they really have. There's some great hockey guys here, but there's some guys that have thought outside the box on how to promote their own programs, but in essence, they're promoting our league as well. And I've been very impressed with the off ice as much as the on ice product.
And yeah, you got to be impressed too a little bit, like I say, with the on ice. Let's talk about that, because the play has been really, really good, at least from what I've seen. The pace is outstanding. The talent is undeniable. Like it's really impressive to see. And obviously the teams have benefited because there have been, like I say, some really good games, some really high scoring games. And obviously, yeah, the talent is there, and it's showing early on.
Yeah, I did. The one thing is I never thought the talent would be a problem. The talent for this age demographic in this league and other leagues, there's nothing wrong with the talent. It's always been, have we promoted it well? And that's what we're trying to do. So our league is the talent. It's there. There's some wonderful hockey players in this league on all the teams. So that's not a problem. And now with us getting our streaming under control, I mean, we had some hiccups with some streaming, and there's some still stuff to work out.
Right.
COVID threw a wrench into a lot of things. One is getting to arenas in July and August, get Wi-Fi sorted out, dedicated lines, and so on and so forth. And we would be nowhere on that without the work of Bill Ryan. Until
he's been outstanding.
He is an electronic guru, and it's like me reading Chinese, but he's been unbelievable. Not just there. Bill is a big part of our league. We only talk probably 12 times a day.
Only.
So really helped on that end, and I believe that people will be able to see our games very soon, streamed if they can't make it to their local arena. So that's another thing that is separating us from some other leagues, and they can see that that you.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm really impressed. I was really, really impressed when I watched the replay of the Alvinston Tilsonburg game. Their stream is just unbelievable. So hopefully we can reach that point in Stratford as well. Jamie, without giving too much away, I mean, again, the last thing you want to do as a league is become stagnant in terms of doing the same thing over and over again. Obviously, I know your creative juices are flowing when it comes to what to do next. Like, is there can you give us kind of an idea of what's planned for upcoming and what fans can look forward to?
Well, as far as stagnant, we won't be stagnant. No,
No, you're not a stagnant guy.
I firmly believe it's quality versus quantity. There's other leagues out there with lots more teams than us, but if we're not going to have quality teams, it's not going to work. Are we going to grow? We are. Are we speaking to teams already in year two, for year two? Yeah, we are. There's people that are reaching out. There's people that are seeing our vision, seeing what we're doing, seeing what all the teams are doing. So yes, we're talking to teams already, and we want to grow. What can look forward to in the next couple of months? Similar to what you've seen. Every team are doing theme nights. Almost every home game is a theme night. We got a celebration of Hockey Fights Cancer. Every team in November is hosting one of those games. And they'll be auctioning off purple jerseys and so on and so forth, back to the hockey, to Cancer, Canadian Cancer. So there's a lot of stuff going on. They can get that information through you from your podcast. When they go on our websites, WOSHL.com, and all the teams have social media as well. And as far as social media, again, we're trying to be better on that. And there's a lot of content out there, and there's a lot of good content. Can we be better?
Yeah.
Sure, we can. We have a Zoom meeting tonight, and we'll get some new stuff. There's posts every day. There's posts every day on the team. So people are invested in this and invested in more than just a 60-minute hockey game.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree with you more. Jamie, this has been an absolute pleasure, dude. We really appreciate having you on. And again, all the congratulations and the success that goes along with it to you. You've done unbelievable work. You and I know a number of other hats as well. But from my personal standpoint, I'm really impressed with what you've done so far, and look forward to being a part of what's to come. It's going to be so much fun. Thanks for doing this.
No, thank you. And I'll just add, and thank you for the kind words, but I'm being serious. I'm looking right in the camera. This is not the Jamie Petrie show. Guys like Bill Ryan and the rest of the guys, it is a group effort, and it really is. And our league will not survive with just one person or a couple of bystanders, people that don't have any, say, skin in the game. There's a lot of good work, and we speak often, and we want to grow this league. And like I said, and I'm repeating, yes, every team wants to do well. I want to do well, but we want this league to do well. And if the league does well, all those teams benefit. But thank you for the words, kind words, and keep up your good work. I mean, I know we talk maybe not 12 times a day, but at least 9. So keep up the good work, and I hope to be on again with you soon.
Yeah. And I mean, you're humble right to the end. The point is that I was trying to make is that everybody's in it for everybody else, which is unbelievable. I think that's just fantastic. Jamie, thanks a lot for doing this. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Raji. Talk to you.
Okay, guys, back here, yes, on the podcast. We want to thank Jamie Petrie for coming on and speaking with us. It's always a pleasure to speak with him, and I'm glad that he's doing okay and that he seems to be recovering well after that really scary incident this past Saturday. So as mentioned, guys, 3 games on the schedule this upcoming weekend. Starts Friday, October the 22nd, Tillsonburg at the Elora Rocks. And then on Saturday, it's the Stratford Fighting Irish in Alvinston to take on the Alvinston Killer Bees. That one goes at 6:30. And then in Glencoe, the Alvinston Killer Bees and the Strathroy Jets at 12 o'clock. Note the start time there. Guys, like I say, check out our social medias if you need to. We are on social media. Yeah, check it out. And make sure to hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel. We really do appreciate that as well. I am Andrew Rogers, the host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League, and we will see you again real soon. Thank you very much for watching. As always, we appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe out there, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.